Good morning. I am awaiting lots of important information and it's taking its time. So while I am nervously awaiting the information, I will read another chapter. This is chapter 31. Standing on Roxy's front step, I was about to ring her doorbell when I heard singing from inside, a high, wobbly voice belting out a loud hymn that I recognised from school assembly, only it was sung in a strong West Indian accent. Thine be the glory, risen conquering Son, endless is the victory, thou o'er death hast won. Then there was a crash, something smashing, and a "no!" followed by what sounded like some dialect swearing that I didn't understand. I didn't know what to do, and I stood there hesitating, my finger hovering over the bell, when the door opened suddenly and Roxy was there looking up at me. "I saw you coming," she said, pointing to a tiny camera above the door. "Sorry, I just heard, Oh, Mum? Yeah, she just dropped something. It gets to her. Come on in." She about turned and trotted back through her hallway, calling, "Don't worry, Mum, I'll clear it up." At the end of the hall, her mum put her head round the doorway. She was supporting herself on crutches, and she looked so different from the first time I'd seen her. She wasn't tall, but she was heavy for her height, with bulges of fat under her clothes and huge, dimpled upper arms. Her hair was shorter than Roxy's, a cropped afro with a purple streak in it, matching her large, round earrings. Her eyes, though, were exhausted. Somehow she managed to look like every picture I had ever seen of someone who was bravely battling a serious illness. She smiled, showing perfect teeth. It was a tired smile and forced, as if the effort of lifting the corners of her mouth drained her. It was the same shape as Roxy's 100-watt grin, but with none of the brilliance. "Hello, love. You must be Aidan. Roxy's told me all about you." "Has she? Hello, Mrs. Call me Precious, darling. Sorry, are you wanting to get past? It's these crutches." She pressed herself against the wall as I went into their kitchen. I wondered if she would say anything about her odd behaviour last night. To my relief, she said nothing more. Roxy was dumping the remains of a broken plate into the bin. I watched Roxy's mum as she moved awkwardly around the corner, banging the kitchen door behind her by using her crutch. "She seems," and I hesitated fatally, "nice." Pathetic Aidan. Roxy gave her little yap of laughter. "Ha! Nice! Good try, Aidan. You're such a bad liar." "No, I just meant—" Roxy smiled, a bit sadly, I thought. "It's okay, she's hard work, but she is nice, underneath it all." What's the nature of, Roxy let me squirm for a bit, just, I think, for her own amusement. Finally she said, "Diabetes mainly, plus chronic fatigue syndrome, and probably something else that hasn't been diagnosed yet. The drugs she takes, for one, react badly with the insulin and cause her to gain weight, which affects the diabetes and in turn causes mood swings, so she takes another medicine and that affects the CFS. She rattled this off as if she had practiced it, and then she paused before answering the question that I was forming in my mouth. "No, there is no cure. Well, not one that's certain or one we could afford," and she's furious. "Because there's no cure?" "Because there's no cure. Because she got it, because she can't move about, because some days she can't get out of bed, because she has to rely on me, because my dad left, because she can't get upstairs, because she has to use a wheelchair. Just everything, really." Roxy had delivered this little speech leaning against the kitchen counter with her arms folded in front of her. Despite her size, she suddenly looked about 40 years old, just for a couple of seconds, and her perma smile had disappeared. I got to see exactly what she'd look like as an adult, and that was strange. She's got quite a singing voice, I said, and Roxy smiled. Yeah, if she's in a good mood, she sings. And the accent? The smile became wider. She learnt all of the hymns from my gran, who is from Trinidad. That was the first time she's sung in ages, and then she dropped the plate, so... Have you been to see him? I asked, jerking my head in the direction of the garage. Roxy shook her head. I had to help Mum. I've got some food ready. She indicated a Tupperware box on the counter. Let's go then. No, Aidan. I have to show you something first. I said I had proof, remember? She sat at the kitchen table and opened her laptop. What I saw next in the next 20 seconds, 20 minutes, was to change all our lives. See you tomorrow.